welcome back to the OJ's channel. It's me, Jordan. Now, usually when you guys see me in this type of outfit, that means this video is about to be an educational video. On what, you might ask? Well, today I'm going to talk to you guys about acid. Now, I heard a lot of good things about the video I made about mushrooms. A lot of good responses. You guys enjoyed the video, and I've had requests about people wanting me to follow up on other types of psychedelic. I decided to make the next psychedelic to be about acid. Now, I tripped a decent amount of times. I'd say myself. I think about 13 times. I think about 3 times with myself. Most of the time, I was with the J's. I'd say I'm quite experienced. So in this video, I'm just gonna tell you the history of it, the types, how to prepare, what not to do, and how it feels to trip on LSD. So I hope you guys enjoy, like the video, and let's get straight into it. So now, I feel like what best way to understand LSD than to first know about the history of it. Now, LSD was first invented in April in 1943 by a guy named Albert Hofmann. This scientist was originally intending to make a pill for migraine, until one day, I guess he mixed a couple chemicals here and there and decided to test it out on himself if what he made worked. Now, on this famous day, when he left the lab, he rode his bike. Now, I guess he took a dose of what he made that day, which at the time wasn't considered LSD. It was just something he made in the lab, saying as he rode his bike home, he saw how beautiful nature was in all its glory and all beautiful colors. My man was tripping balls, I'll just tell you that. So thankfully, ever since that day, this man, Albert Hofmann, is the reason why we have LSD today. Now, I've only seen and heard about 3 types of ways to consume LSD. Regular paper tabs. There's more intense gel tab. Well, the way you make, I guess, a sheet of LSD, what I've been told is it's basically liquid formed, and you just put droplets on each tab or on a whole sheet. I'm not really familiar on how it's made, but that's what I've been told and I'm familiar with. Now, gel tabs, I don't know if they're made similar, but I do know they're way stronger, depending on the quality, I guess, because someone that I know that's dabbled in gel tabs has had both a really good gel tab, like tripping balls, ego's death gel tab, and a kind of lame mid gel tab, which was really underwhelming, and they didn't really they just were disappointed and expected so much. I have heard a lot of more good things than bad with gel tabs, so I'm pretty sure gel tabs are for more of those people who are more experienced with psychedelics, and especially with LSD. Now, when it comes to psychedelics, trying them for the first time, I always say people should try mushrooms first and then dabble in acid. You know, whatever you guys want. You're your own people. I'm not gonna tell you what to do and what not to do, but acid is way more intense. Now, if you are thinking about tripping, some tips I recommend before taking your tab is definitely prepare. Now, prepare, I mean, it's definitely similar to the things I said on how to prepare for your trip on shrooms in the shroom video, which along the lines of having a safe place to trip, a place where you feel comfortable and no one will ruin your vibe. Don't take it when you're in a bad state of mind. Always take it when you're in a good vibe, you know, life is good kind of thing, you know, no negative thoughts, because then it just ruins your trip. You want to have the best trip possible, so remove any negative energy. Number 3, have someone watching you, especially if you're a first timer. I recommend having someone watching you, because you don't know if it's gonna go south or you don't know if it's gonna go like really bad, you know. Last thing we want is you to get hurt. Now, 4, this is not really like a must, but it definitely is better either you or have someone plan out your trip. Like, plan out what you want to do throughout your trip. Yeah, you could freestyle, which I've done a lot before. You know, freestyling is no problem with freestyling your trip, whatever the trip takes you, you know. But if you have your stuff planned out, it's definitely way better. All the things, you're preparing it before you're tripping, you're like, damn, I can't wait to see how it is going to be when I start seeing stuff, when I start tripping. Like, this is going to be so cool. So definitely planning out your trip beforehand definitely helps the experience while you're tripping. For me, when I tripped those 13 times on LSD, I was usually in a hotel room at a friend's house you feel comfortable with. And I mean, if you want to do it in your room, you can. And if you don't want nobody to ruin your vibe, come in your room, definitely lock the door, make sure everybody's sleeping. Also, I would recommend tripping at night. Whether you're doing it at night or in the day, you have to make sure your night and day is pretty cleared. Like, the trip, usually with LSD trips, they last about 7 to 10 hours. I'd say more 7 hours, mainly because say if you take it around 10 and then you're tripping balls until 3, and then the come down is from 4 to 5. So definitely make sure if you're about to take this, your whole night is free or your whole day is free. You have nothing important to do, no responsibilities, because when you're first time tripping, you kind of don't know how it's going to end, or you kind of don't know how it's gonna go. Now, once you are ready to finally take your first tab, once you prepared, like, you know, you're in a safe place, you have all the stuff that you are planning to do while you're tripping ready and set and go, now you take it. Depending on your immune system, it usually takes about an hour, or maybe if your immune system's faster, it'll probably be shorter. It'll probably be about 30 minutes for it to fully kick in. Once you take it, it's not like, okay, automatically, boom, you're tripping balls, you're about to see shit. Nah, it's like they like to describe it as plane about to take off. I say that because once, say, an hour goes, 30 minutes go, you start feeling like a really intense body high. The type of body high that you would feel like, say, if you ate a strong ass edible and you're baked out your mind and you're like stuck. Basically, once you know you're about to trip, once you know you're about to feel the LSD, your body will feel like really nice and kind of like warm. If you've done shrooms, it's kind of the same feeling from a come up view sense. Yeah, that's a word. I don't even know. Textures will start to be a little off, and I say that like you start seeing patterns on your clothes. I was wearing like some sweatpants that day, and they were showing off some like weird ass patterns. One thing that I would always remember my first trip, which was so cool, was, I don't know if you guys are familiar with like trippy videos or like music videos where they use like neon lights, shit like that. So basically, when I felt like me coming up and I saw my pants, like the pattern, I left my hand up and I looked at it and I went like, and I swear to you, as I went like this, it was literally a rainbow pattern following my hand. I thought that shit was so cool. And then I remember I was looking at a poster. It was like a monkey, and I was like, by the end of the night, I'm gonna have that monkey talk to me. Now, LSD is not really like that. I'll be honest, if you do take a whole bunch, haven't taken more than probably like 300 mg, like a dose or 2 dose tab, whatever. You're not gonna see like your dog talk or like random things talk. Don't get me wrong, there's probably other psychedelics out there that I might get into that do give you that effect, but LSD is not really all that. It's more like colors and textures and like good vibes, you know. You just lay back and chill and just enjoy everything you see. You will feel a bit dizzy, I'd say, at first, but once you get into the trip, once like your come up phase is done and you're fully tripping, you see colors, you see textures, you'll start getting used to the light dizziness. You also start to hear things way more clearly, like your hearing has been enhanced, kind of like 50%. I don't know, but your hearing is like, you can start to hear stuff from upstairs that probably nobody else hears, and you're probably just tweaking, I'll be honest. Another thing, the reason why it's really important to go in this with a clear thought, with happy vibes, is because once you're tripping like hard, once you're actually in the trip, you start having deep thought. Always think positively, don't negatively. That's why I say be in a good vibe or be in a good environment. You don't want to, you know, start thinking about that ex, or you don't want to, if your life's that shitty, you don't want to start thinking about that, because it just starts bringing you down, and honestly could cause a bad trip, and you probably don't want to ever trip again, which, you know, it's not for everybody. I do feel that everybody should at least try it once in their life, because it is an eye-opener and it is a big experience when you're first getting into psychedelics. Now, one thing I would say for more the, like, I wouldn't say pros, but the people who trip, you know, more often, who are more used to it, smoking but definitely enhances it. Like your body, you definitely feel way more tingly in your body when you're smoking, and the visuals are a little bit more enhanced. If you're a first time, you probably don't want to do that. You probably want to take it slow, but if, you know, you've already done it like once or twice, fuck it, you know, light up and see how it is. Usually when I trip and I light up, I don't even finish the whole J. I just take a couple hits and I'm good, and I go upstairs or I go in the house or whatever the fuck I'm at. But yeah, once you say tripped about a good 5 hours, say now you start feeling the effects to calm down. And it's not really a bad calm down feeling. There's other substances out there that calm down is trash, but with LSD it's not really a bad feeling. Now, since I said the trip is a long time, some do get a little like freaked out, start thinking they'll never get out of a trip. That rarely happens, I'll be honest with you. I've never, actually I can't say I never, I heard one person, but most of the time people either want to keep on tripping, like they wish they never got out the trip, or they just know they're cooling, you know, they just know it's just gonna pass by and they're gonna be sober and normal the next day with a brand new mindset too. But definitely do not drive while they're coming up, in the middle, or coming down off of it. You got to give it some time. You cannot be behind the wheel. I've made that mistake one time, and I am very happy I didn't get pulled over, and I would never do that again. But it was an experience, I'll tell you that much. It was definitely an experience. I only drove 5 minutes, but still, it was crazy. I thought I wasn't alive. It was a whole thing. Another thing I recommend not to do is do not trip at your own workplace. One time I was getting ready to go to the movies and I decided to take a tab because I only had 30 minutes left on my shift, and oh my god, that tab kicked in way too fast. Kicked in 15 minutes, which is the fastest tab ever kicked in. And I swear to you, at the time I was working at Wendy's, so I was like doing fries, and literally I was like peaking, I was like coming up as I'm in the middle of work as I'm doing fries. So I thought it was cool, you know, all I gotta do is put fries in a fucking cart and not really talk to anybody for the next 15 minutes. That wasn't until my fucking manager at the time was like, yo, Jordan, can you come through up front? I can't say really no, especially when I only got like 10 minutes. So I was like, okay. So I take orders, and then I'm over here trying to avoid all eye contact as possible. I left early because I couldn't. I left like 5 minutes early because it's 5 minutes, and I just told them I wasn't feeling good. I went straight to my car, waited for my friend because they were supposed to pick me up to go see Deadpool, and literally I just laid in my car, reclined my seat, opened the sunroof, and I just looked through the sunroof, looking at the trees and the leaves just moving while I'm listening to Nav. It was a crazy experience, but definitely would not recommend tripping at your job. People thought I was acting weird, and then when I explained to them why, they're like, oh, it makes sense now. That about wraps it up. Thank you guys for watching. Like, share the video. Videos with me and John will be coming back soon once he comes back from vacation. If you guys want me to do any other videos on psychedelics, please let me know. Message me, or any type of other video, just let me know and I'll see what I'll do. Thank you guys again. Catch you guys.